Both businesses and municipalities can go online, and there's a set of questions that they ask you for this information.
I think we're going to go ahead and get started. We had a couple other people that thought they might come, but we want to thank everybody for coming this morning. This is an opportunity for us, and we appreciate your support. And we've got a lot of people to thank. The newspapers are here. We have Hillsdale Daily News here this morning. We thank you for coming. Williams County Publishing and Bryan Times. And without you, we wouldn't be able to get the word out of what we're all about, what we're trying to accomplish. And so we thank you for coming. We also want to thank Diamond Zimmerman from WEDCO, Williams County Economic Development, and Mary Beavers from Northwest Ohio Small Business Administration. She came up from Defiance this morning. So we want to thank you for that. And Sue Smith from Hillsdale Economic and Christine Bowman also have been instrumental in helping us get started. And in fact, on November 4th, they have a homegrown happening at Camp Machindo, just behind us, just north of here. 1 year ago, we had decided to attend. We got the advertisement for this entrepreneurial expo, and so we attended that. We met Sue Smith, and we met Christine, and they pointed us in the right directions to get contacts, and so then we was in touch with MMTC, and you will notice in your business plan and in your flyers that we've given, we have a website that's up, and we was awarded a 70% grant from the state of Michigan to develop and build and to publish our website. So that's a combined effort, and we have Sue Smith and Christine Bowman to thank for getting us started there. And then all along the way, all through this last 3-4 years, Diamond Zimmerman here from Williams County Economic Development has been there at most of our demonstrations. She's helped us. She's gave us contacts. WEDCO has paid for seminars and workshops that we can attend, because a lot of the things that we're doing here are new ground for us. We didn't know what we were doing or how we were going to do it. And through WEDCO and Mary Beavers got our business plan done for us, and she's helped us develop that and to guide us in the right direction. So we have a lot of people to thank for getting us where we're at today. We have a long ways to go. We're going to be attending the GIE Expo here in Louisville this week. We're leaving Wednesday, and you could say we're going to be facing the giants. We're just the new kids on the block, and so we really believe that these engine manufacturers have been sleeping. That if you look in the business plan, we hammer it home that very little has changed with these small engines over 40 years. If you look at your grandfather's lawnmower, the engines aren't a great deal different today than they were 40 years ago. But now we're going to introduce a new change. And we don't know why. Everything else around us has continual improvement, but the small engines have remained basically the same over the last 40 years until now, when we developed this one valve head technology, the advanced head systems. And that's what we have right now, is primarily 2 patents that we were just awarded. One is for the one valve advanced head system that Reed will explain a little later, and the rotary engine that we have will burn hydrogen, propane, and gasoline. So we thank you all for coming. TSR Technologies is basically just the 3 of us. Jerry Randolph, who's been a contractor for 30 plus years. 40 plus years. You're giving away your age.
Oh, wow.
I was being nice.
I started really young.
And Reed Frank has got 25 years plus here, and he's certified mechanic for a lot of the major small engines, and so Reed is our technician. He's our expert on how the engines function and how they run. And I am Steve Raymond. I have a small tool and die shop near Montpelier, Ohio, and we've owned and operated that for over 20 years. And I do a lot of the drawing and design and machining and building the prototypes. So we have a good combination. It's worked very well for us thus far. And we appreciate all the support and all the help that we've had And before we go any further, I'll play a little video. I think some of you have seen this. It's just a 3-minute demo. You have that? We have a lot of people to thank. John Klein for Win Publishing did our brochures and our banners and our flyers. And the Pro Shop in Hudson made the shirts for us. And so we have a lot of people to be thankful for. And Jerry will show you a little demonstration. If you want to see this, a little 3-minute demo of TSR. Got sound on there?
Yeah.
We're just learning the new technology.
Small engine market. With TSR Technologies' one-valve powerhead concept, conventional intake and exhaust valves, push rods, and rocker arms are eliminated. The results of this new technology can be applied to any general utility engine. Less moving parts means extended engine life, reduced manufacturing costs, and less weight for the engine. The one-valve powerhead design produces a significant increase in power, plus runs quieter, cooler, and with less emissions than conventional piston-driven engines. One-valve technology enables engines to run on a number of available fuels: gasoline, ethanol, diesel fuel, propane, and natural gas will all work in any engine equipped with the one-valve head. Leaf blowers, lawn mowers, chainsaws, rototillers, garden tractors, and portable generators can all benefit from smaller, lighter, more powerful engines using one-valve head technology. Analysis reports from a third-party laboratory prove that one-valve technology is indeed feasible and can be adapted to automobile engines. The one-valve technology concept was brought to life at TSR's machining facility in Montpelier, Ohio. The TSR staff has over 30 years of experience in small engine technology. Also in development at TSR Technologies is an extremely efficient rotary engine designed to run on a wide variety of fuels. This patented design will eventually allow hydrogen to be the main energy source for this powerful engine. Let TSR Technologies go to work for you.
And at this point, I'll just turn the presentation over to Reed.
Yeah. All right. Once again, I'd like to say thank you for coming to my place. And this is also a representative of TSR at this property here in Michigan. As you can see, we have 2 facilities, and our plans is to expand even more and provide more jobs in this area. And on that note, producing products like this and the video and all that thing did provide actually quite a few jobs in this area already. So this technology is exciting for this area to see it happen. You're looking at a one-of-a-kind, the only one-valve engine running in the entire world. There is none other. And there's been another attempt, as we spoke of before, in Europe. But as far as we know, no other engine has ever run to this point on one valve. And how we achieved that, actually. This was the typical head that was on this engine originally. And normal head cylinder systems have either 2 valves, one in and one out, of course. And it's all controlled by camshaft with push rods and rocker arms. And our goal was basically, how can we take this particular cylinder head and make it more efficient? Well, companies are doing that already. They're taking 4 valves and 5 valves, and you're seeing in your extreme race engine, that kind of thing, on this type of product. And they're developing extreme efficiency, actually. But there's a lot of moving parts, which creates a lot of friction. And so what we did was said, well, if we could take all them valves out and just make one valve that does the work of all those valves. And with that, we did that. And then once we achieved that, this is what it looks like now. This little cylinder head here was approximately 3/4 of an inch. Now it's 1 1/4 inch. So we've actually increased the valve size by 1.6%, okay? 160% larger than what it was originally. Now, when we did that, it allows us to flow more air, which increases our engine's air efficiency and thermal efficiency. And without getting really too technical about this, once we achieved that, we said, well, how are we going to get the air from the intake side to the exhaust side? Well, there was several different options. But as we got looking further into it, a new material became available to us. I don't know if that comes out of there or not. But it's a material called carbon fiber, which is a very high-tech, was made by NASA actually for the space program and the shuttle programs to handle high temperatures, high heat, cold temperatures, and extreme conditions. And so once we found that material, we said we can use that material for a reed valve material. And actually, we're not the first ones actually to discover that. A lot of two-stroke companies actually were using this material already. We said, well, if they're using it, so can we. And that's when we started to apply that into this particular application. Now, once we achieved that, we said, how are we going to actuate this valving? Well, we actually, when we filed our patent, we actually filed an electronic system, but they wouldn't let us have the patent on that because a previous company had already filed the patent on that. So we went back to conventional means of actuating our valve, and right now we're in this engine here, we're using just push rods, just like a normal your car engines would use right now. And eventually, on this engine here, we'll actually have an overhead cam engine, which is very high tech and been used by the motorcycle and car industry now for probably somewhere 30, 35 years. So it's a proven technology that we're going to use to adapt our technology. Now, and then once we achieve that with these products now running, this basically started out as a small 4-stroke engine, but as we all know, chainsaws, trimmers, you probably all used them in your own yards. You had to mix your gas and your oil in a lot of your 2-strokes. But 2-stroke is a very inefficient engine, but it's very powerful for its weight size. We are going to achieve, and have already achieved, the same power to weight ratio with a 4-stroke engine that they are with 2-strokes now. But the advantage with 4-stroke is our complete combustion. So our efficiency and our environmental conditions at the exhaust is equal to any other 4-stroke, which basically takes the 2-stroke out of the equation. Now we can adapt this to trimmers and small tillers, and eventually, and there's not one on the market as of yet, and that's a 4-stroke chainsaw, which can be run in any angle, because a lot of people use their chainsaws in many angles. And the engine technology has already been developed, and we're not going to reinvent the wheel in that part of it, but we've developed basically the cylinder head system to achieve the horsepower we need. And with that in mind, that's what we're going to take to the market, and we're going to put our best foot forward on that. And there's going to be some major players very interested in this product because they're all trying to achieve greater and better emission standards, and they got to do this all within the next 5-6 years. And with the conventional engine that Steve said, in the last 40 years it hasn't really changed, and we really don't see, unless they're not showing it to us, any new advances in that other area. But this will allow them to get to a new dimension without suffering the cost and the availability of parts off the shelf that they can already achieve. We've already done that for them. So it's a sellable product, and basically